Today's fancy topic is the future perfect.
When is this going to be used? So you would use the future perfect to talk about when something will be done by. And usually it's a couple years off in the future. So if you want to say that people will live on Mars by 2050, you could use this tense. Strangely, you also use this to speculate about something that has happened in the past that you're not quite sure of. Last chapter, as in chapter 5, we talked about two perfect tenses. And the first perfect tense we talked about was the present perfect, where we use the present tense of the verb haber with the past participle. And then the other one was the pluscuamperfecto, otherwise known as PCP, which used the imperfect form of the verb haber. Both tenses have two parts of the tense. So you have the main verb, which is actually your past participle, and you have your auxiliary verb, which is either the present tense conjugation of the verb haber for the present perfect, or the imperfect tense of the verb haber for the pluscuamperfecto. And the past participle was created by either dropping the AR on a verb and adding auto, or dropping the ER and the IR, the ER or the IR and adding edo.
The third perfect tense we're going to learn is the future perfect. It's made up of two parts, as every other perfect tense is. You have your main verb, which is conjugated in the past participle, and then you put haber in the future.
It's important to remember that when we talked about future tenses, we mentioned haber because it is irregular. And it's just one of those ones, luckily, where you only have to drop the E. So the yo form is habré. Tú is habrás. Él, ella, usted habrá. Nosotros habremos. And ellos, ellas, ustedes habrán. So as an example, if I wanted to say that at some point in the future I will have gotten married, so let's say by 2030 I will have gotten married, I need to conjugate haber for the yo form. Again, it is irregular. And then I need to put this into the past participle. And the big thing I noticed, of course, is that there's a say attached to it. Since I'm talking about myself, I need to detach it and put it in the front. I also see that it is an AR verb, so I know that I need to change it to casado. If I want to say that by 2020 you will have graduated from high school, perhaps even college, we would say that we need to conjugate haber for the to form. And then we need to put graduarse into the past participle. But again, I noticed that there is a se attached, so I need to detach it, put it in the front. But since we're conjugating for to, I need to make sure that it's te habrás. And then again, I need to put this into the past participle, graduado. Te habrás graduado. So just to recap, the future perfect is created by making a conjugation of haber in the future tense plus the past participle. And hopefully this goes without saying, but you need to know your irregulars of the past participle. And just to recap, R is for roto, E is escrito, vuelto, visto, muerto, abierto, cubierto, puesto, hecho, devuelto, and dicho. Don't forget them. They're going to keep coming up. They're hard to remember, but you just have to memorize them.